Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen Morgan, the Karmic Psychic. I'm a Master Akashic Records reader, and I help you clear the karmic debt that's preventing you from living the life of your wildest dreams. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jen Morgan, the Karmic Psychic. I'm glad you guys are here back with me. And today what we're going to cover is actually a question that I had from a client, which, she asked, like, how come it is so hard for me to notice what I've done that's created karma in my life? So essentially asking, how come it's so hard to identify what choices or what things that I've done that have created a karmic barrier, okay? And so if you are brand new to my channel, now is probably a time that is good to go back and watch some of the other videos that I've created, just so you kind of have a good foundation of knowing, what karma is, how it works. I did one on the 7 truths of karma. This will be really in depth on how karma is created, okay? And then also the one that shows you what patterns to look for. How do you know you have karmic barriers to essentially work through? What kind of things to start to pay attention to as red flags, okay? So again, what we're going to talk about in this video is, like, why is it so hard to identify that I've basically created a karmic barrier for myself, or karmic debt. Karmic barrier is going to be the same term that I'm going to use for karmic debt interchangeably, okay? So boiled down, we create karma through making a choice, okay? So there was a choice made on something, and for many of us, we make choices based on, unfortunately, old belief systems that were created from experiences that we had. And many of us don't learn how to make choice that actually aligns to who we are on a soul level and what we came here to experience, simply because we've had experiences that go against what we came here to experience. And most of us as children aren't really taught how to make healthy choice. Most of us have had a lot of choices made for us, or we weren't able to express our freedom in the way that we wanted to. And so that paired with life experiences leads most people down the path of people pleasing and kind of creating choices that are essentially really kind of rooted in a disempowered place, usually a lack of boundaries, sometimes people pleasing. But nonetheless, what happens is that people stop seeing the correlation between choice and then what shows up in their world. And also it becomes very hard for them to make choice that actually aligns with what they do want on soul level. So I see a lot of people, especially my clients, that they get to a certain stage in their lives and they feel like their life that they created doesn't even match up to, like, who they are. Like, they start to have this awareness of the person that they are on a soul level. It's kind of starts to break through the noise of their everyday. And this creates a big conflict because they start to see that the things that they've actually made choice to create don't actually align to what it is that who it is that they feel like they are, and when they're being fully authentic. And so this is something that I see a lot, and the roots of this come from different levels of misalignment when it comes to making choice in general. And so the basic premise of karma is that we've created a choice that goes against a universal law, a universal truth, free will, or essentially our alignment within ourselves. And so you find that a lot of people, by the time that they start to awaken, or like any of these like terms like woke, again, I think, like I already mentioned, I have a weird thing with terminology. It makes me feel weird. That's just one of my things. But you have a lot of people that, again, they start to wake up, they start to become more conscious, which really just means that they start to have a deeper understanding of who they are on a soul level authentically. And at that point, when this happens, they've already created many things through choice that, like, don't align. And so they're like, oh my God. it's like waking up in a world one day and wow, I created all these things, but like what place did I create any of this stuff from? So some of you guys might be like, oh my God, that's me right now. And it's okay. It's okay, because you have a massive opportunity right now to really look at what kind of choices do I want to make that are based in empowerment, that are aligning to who I am. And so very, very healthy thing to do, to ask yourself, like, what is it that I desire to create out of my life? And you aligning to that might take some pivoting, it might take some releasing things and so on. But getting back to the point, most people don't realize they're not mindful enough in many of their choices to see that they've made a choice that has a certain consequence, or a certain creates a certain circumstance for them. So many people don't have the capability yet, because again, it's a learned behavior, and it takes some uprooting of old learned behaviors and habits to be mindful enough to say, hey, I made this choice, and wow, interesting, now this thing is showing up in my life, and this must have been a reason why this is created, okay? So what's really interesting about karma and the way it works is that when we make a new choice that goes against something that is aligned for us, and again, specifically new choice, meaning that it's not a choice that we've already made, it goes outside of our comfort zone. So I'm sure I will talk about this in later videos in more depth, but basically most humans, they will spend most of their life, like imagine like a circle, okay? And the circle is all the things that you've experienced already and what's currently available to you. And most people spend like 99.9% of their life just bouncing around, like almost like imagine a circle with a bunch of little dots in it and little pegs, you know, like the square game thing that you draw the lines, okay? And you can only move one move at a time, right? So each time you move, you're inside the circle. That means that you're actually just re-choosing choices you've already made. It's your comfort zone. It's everything you've already done. And most people bounce around the inside of this, like pretty much all of the time, okay? But everything that you want to create that you have not created yet is actually outside of that circle, which means that in order to manifest that, you need to make new choices, brand new choices, okay? And like if you want a great outcome, ideally you're aligning that to who you are on a soul level, which is information that is within your soul blueprint. Again, great content for a later video. If you want that, please comment below. I will absolutely make a video for you guys on that. But ideally, you want to make new choices that move you outside of your normal comfort zone sphere into a new reality, okay? And if that doesn't karmically align and you make a new choice that actually goes against who you are on a soul level, what you will see is that you will have these really wonky things start to happen, okay? And I say wonky, and it's like you know, the perfect term like for this, because what's very fascinating is that your outcome might not be a direct linear consequence for what you've chosen, okay? For example, I might have chosen to get a new job. Well, that job doesn't align with who I am and what I came here to experience on a very base level. And so the next day, my car breaks down, okay? So like the choice I made to start the new job doesn't necessarily, you wouldn't connect the two, but getting really, really mindful about, oh my gosh, I saw something happen that doesn't feel, I don't like the terms of positive or negative. They're just polars to show you how to navigate your life. It's actually just information is information. But basically, you know, you made a new choice. It didn't align with who you are. Still great, good that you made a new choice. You went outside of this, you know, circle, okay? Something maybe in a new field or something like that, and you kind of moved outside of your circle, which is great. But what's interesting too is your circle will then kind of start to expand and shift with you. So you're always trying to make new choices if you want to develop a new reality for yourself, and that's manifestation tips, which I will do a series on because it's my jam. It's like I like it. Manifestation. Let's talk about it. So like good for you because you made a new choice. However, it didn't align with who you are on a soul level. And so you're seeing this what seems to be an unrelated outcome like show up very quickly in your reality. Okay. So if you make a choice that is going to potentially, it doesn't yet, but it might potentially, if you keep choosing it, or if you don't pivot away from it, or if you end up in it's infringing on someone's free will, or if it ends up moving you into a relationship where there's toxicity, or there's, again, go back to previous videos, those could be consequences or outcomes rather of you staying in that. So basically what you're going to see is like, I made a new choice that was new to me. It moved me outside of my comfort zone, and out here, now I'm out here, but like in the next 24 to 48 hours after you make that choice, you will experience something that will seem maybe unrelated, but this is when you need to get mindful of your choices and ask yourself, does that actually align? Maybe it's based in people pleasing. Maybe it's based in, what someone else wants for you. Maybe it's based in an old pattern of thinking that actually doesn't fit you and you're being prompted to up level. Maybe it's just simply misaligned to what you came here to experience or your soul purpose. And so you made a choice, like good, again, you made a choice. Like people struggle with actually just making choices. So you did it. That's good. But if it misaligns, what you're going to see is very strange things showing up within 24 to 48 hours after. So like you lost your keys and the same day you ended up rear-ending someone, and somebody stole money from you. And I'm talking extreme cases, but like it's to show you these are things to be mindful of, weird things showing up. So karma is not so linear where it's going to make choice very quick consequence, or actually a consequence that you might deem as warranted for that. It's not so linear. It's more energetic. It's going to be an energetic match, but it's not going to, it won't necessarily be like I hurt someone, they will hurt me, or, something like that. So you have to get really mindful about what choices you're making, especially new ones, but in general. And then saying, okay, how am I seeing my life shift within this next window of 24 to 48 hours? If you start to see weird stuff, you have made a choice that is misaligned to you, period, okay? So what do? Make another new choice, because now you're over here on this peg. You had your little circle and you moved out to here, over here in this peg, because you made a new choice, so good on you. But now you have to move to the next one to be back on a course that is something within alignment with you. So what choice are you now going to make as a pivot from that point, okay? So this is how the mindset of somebody who is working through life, mindful of their karma, mindful of aligning things to their soul purpose, and creating what they desire to create, what that mindset looks like. Now, there are some people that do this just I don't even know what the word is, like just they do it so well. Like it's natural to them. Those people 9 times out of 10 actually are certain type of they're one of the categories of a soul purpose that essentially is here to manifest reality. So you kind of might see these people that are like out there on Instagram, or like these, like they seem so flowy and they're able to create, and that's great. We need people like that in the world. They actually serve humanity in that way to actually show us that we can manifest what it is that we desire. But that's actually not everybody's sweet spot. And so if you can get really good at cultivating the mindset of what choices did I make and what am I seeing show up in my world, and navigating with that, that's going to be your tactic at how to create a life that is very, very, very aligned to you and not create karma as you move along. So you want to always be thinking, how can I make a new choice that goes out of my comfort zone, but also does it align with who I am on a soul level, my authenticity, the way I want to show up in the world, and basically does it help you experience something as a soul, which all experiences are experiences, but sometimes we create a lot of the opposite of what we actually want to create in order to then, in that sense, it's almost like reclaiming, you have to create that within yourself then. So there's a lot of people that spend a lot of lifetimes, maybe they came here to experience, I use my example, love and acceptance, that's unique to me, but they actually will spend a lot of their life creating and attracting situations that make them feel the opposite in order for them to actually create that for themselves. It's like to show them, hey, your work's within you, and then they have to find that. And so a lot of people spend like a good chunk of their lives just solely in that. But if you can instead think, okay, like what is it that I want to create based on what I desire? And can I make new choice? And if I can like know this window of this 24 to 48 hour principle, it's going to be pretty easy for me to know, did I make a choice that aligned or didn't? I mean, this is like life tactic 101. And then it starts to be something that you can really dance with, right? You don't even need to know your soul purpose. You don't even need to remember what you came here to experience as a soul, which is one of my very favorite things. I love to talk about it all the time. But you don't even need to know those things. You just need to make new choices that are relatively aimed at what you desire to create. And then you can see what shows up in your life 24 to 48 hours. If you see something that's like, oh, this was great. Like you found $5 on the ground. Awesome. Because that, even though it doesn't seem like it matches up to that choice, the vibration of it does. Okay. Then if you make a choice and you see some weird stuff show up in your life, like, you know, you hit a bird and your energy feels really weird and, you ended up losing money or something like that. That means that the vibration of what you put out there wasn't aligned to you, and your outcome is actually vibrationally aligned to that. So like now you need to make a new choice that pivots. Okay. And again, they seem like unrelated things, but they're not, because it's just vibration. The universe is not so specific. So even this like is just a manifestation tip for some of you guys. Like you might like be like, oh, I want to manifest this. And what shows up is going to be vibrationally aligned with what you want to manifest. But for most people, it's not exactly that. So if I say, I really want a red car and that red car is going to get me to work every day, what I'm actually energetically saying is I want to be able to get to work every day in a reliable way. So what I actually might find showing up is like a bike, and maybe it's red, who knows, but it's actually vibrationally aligned. So learning to be so specific about the energy behind what it is that you want to create is also kind of a upper level, I would say, self-mastery skill. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys today. But you know, why it's so hard to see, that you've created a karmic barrier is because it might not look entirely related to a choice you made. And a lot of people lack mindfulness around choice that actually, one, around choice in general, two, around creating choices that actually align, because it's a skill that oftentimes is learned later in life just based on how empowered in our choice we were able to be as children. And then also what situations we experienced in our life that have maybe caused us to separate from our kind of knowing that we can create anything that we desire through choice. Okay. Which if you've had any types of trauma, you've had any types of things that were difficult for you to navigate, that might have taken away from your confidence a little bit. And so, be kind and gentle with yourself, but try to implement some of these tactics and then be mindful about what's showing up. Okay. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoy it, make sure that you like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video very, very soon. If you loved what you learned about today, make sure to like and subscribe, and come check me out over on Instagram at Jen_Morgan or on my website, jen-morgan.com. See you soon, guys.